Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, where we celebrate individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Earlier this year, UnCruise Adventures invited me to join their small ship, Wilderness Discoverer, for a week-long cruise. We spent 2 full days in Glacier Bay National Park, seeking out the region's glaciers, exploring the shores and fjords of Tongass National Forest and the Tracy Fjord, and searching for wildlife, including bears, whales, mountain goats, sea lions, otters, eagles, and more. This series of short episodes includes interviews with guests and crew who volunteer to share their stories. We hope you enjoy them. And I have the pleasure of chatting first with Susan and Phil, and they are from St. George, Utah, literally just down the street from me in Las Vegas. Susan and Phil, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Fantastic. So I'm really curious, is this the first trip with UnCruise Adventures that you have been on?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah. A friend of ours scheduled a cruise in 2020, and he introduced us to UnCruise. And of course, he didn't get to take his, of course, because of COVID. But so we started to do a little investigation about UnCruise. Really liked what they offered, so we decided to book our cruise this year. So this is our first time.
It's our first cruise ever.
That was going to be my next question. Is this your first cruise? Are both of you, I think I probably know the answer of being from St. George, Utah. In Utah, you've got the national parks. Am I assuming correctly that both of you are very much interested in outdoor activities?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
We are. We're both birders. We hike and camp a lot. We ride bikes, whatever we can do to get outside.
Well, and coming to Alaska certainly is nice to get out of the heat that we normally have in the desert, Southwest desert there. So this is perfect.
I have to agree with you, because the day before I left to fly into Juneau, it was, I think, our first triple-digit day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, since you have been on the cruise, we're actually on day 2, so we gathered cocktails and just kind of get to know each other. On Sunday, we were out yesterday. What did you do the first day yesterday out on in the park? What were your adventures?
We are new to kayaking, so we did kayaking 101, and we got to see a whale. So,
Yeah, we got the feel of the 2-person kayaks and how to paddle and steer and things like that. And it was a good adventure for us to do that. It was just nice being out on the water. So, I mean, it wasn't anything that was particularly spectacular, but to be that close, we did have a humpback whale go past us. And it's interesting to see whales from water level, because we've seen it from above, but water level, it was exciting.
well, Becca said, our tour guide said she wants to keep us on all of her tours now, because we kind of have spotted some of the wildlife that nobody else has seen so far. So she thinks we did something good to bring all the wildlife in.
That's fantastic. Now, today, what were your excursions?
We did go on a guided kayak tour to a glacier, and the tour wasn't very far away from the boat itself, but we just got close to the glacier. We were able to take some photographs of it. And the exciting part was there was a brown bear right at the base of the glacier there.
They later said it was a grizzly. So being far away on a kayak and seeing it was kind of cool.
I would have to agree with that. We were in one of the skiffs that landed, and I actually did my first plunge into this beautiful, pristine, cold water.
Yeah.
I slipped on a rock. That was not pretty,
planned.
but I lived to tell about it. Now, did both of you partake in the polar plunge?
We did not.
Did not.
We have better judgment than the people who actually did that.
It was not a thing I wanted to do. I like to stay dry.
Okay. Now, as far as UnCruise Adventures is concerned, how are you enjoying the hospitality? Because this is a small cruise ship for our listeners. There are cruise ships that sail out the Alaskan islands, and up close, they're very big. The Wilderness Explorer, which is our home for 7 days, it's a very small, intimate ship. And how are you enjoying just being in these close quarters with a small group of other outdoor enthusiasts?
The ship is supposed to hold 76 people at the most, and we have about 50. And what's been wonderful is you are in close quarters, but that almost makes you engage people. And we're meeting people from all around and all around the United States. I don't know if I've met anybody outside of the United States.
Canada.
Who?
Canada.
Oh, Canada. Okay. I didn't know that. But anyway, everybody is like-minded here. They wanted to come on a cruise that really had a smaller population of people. So we have common interests. It's been a wonderful experience just to engage in conversation with everybody. Been a good experience all around with the.
That's fantastic. Now, how are you enjoying the food? And there's some adult beverages there.
The food's amazing. I mean, you don't notice when you kind of look behind the scenes, but every bench seat that we have in the dining area is storage. So they're constantly digging in there to find the stuff for the next meal. But they've done an amazing job accommodating like allergies and dietary restrictions. And we've had a couple of our fellow passengers who've had kind of the upset tummy, and they've been really accommodating with getting them what they can eat and what they can't eat. So I haven't eaten this good in a long time.
Yeah, the food has just been excellent.
That's great. I'm enjoying it as well. Now, one last question. We are planning our excursions for tomorrow. What are you going to do tomorrow?
We're going to head out on a skiff because we haven't been on a skiff yet.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to do the eco walk.
It'll be like a tidewater, low tide. And so we'll investigate the terrain when it's at low tide to see what we can discover there. So
yeah.
Excellent. And I really appreciate you taking time to chat a little bit today about your experiences and coming out here and experiencing UnCruise Adventures, the Wilderness Discover, and just it's a wonderful scenery. And for our listeners, we're always warned in May when we come up to Alaska that we don't expect to see blue skies in the sun. And literally today is just absolutely gorgeous. 2 days, and we are seeing some sights that most people who are here in May are not seeing. Susan and Phil from St. George, Utah, it's a pleasure to have you join me on the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast. I wish you, smooth and exciting adventures in the future. And again, thank you for partaking in this interview.
Right.
Thanks, Howard.
Thanks, Howard.
To learn more about UnCruise Adventures, visit their website at uncruise.com. You can also learn more on their social sites of Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. If you enjoy podcasts devoted to outdoor adventure, find us online at outdooradventureseries.com. And remember, we welcome likes, comments, and sharing. You can also find us on our Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube pages by searching for Outdoor Adventure Series. And you can also find us on all of the leading podcast platforms. All the links that we mentioned just now can be found in our show notes for this episode. Take care, and until next time, we look forward to having you join us for a new episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast.